You know what? In this moment, there is nothing else that you guys could possibly take away from Kenny. I mean, is this his villain origin story? Because clearly you guys want this man in despair enough to be mad and just go amok in the from. Did you see him cry? Did you see him hug Boyd? Did you hear him ask, did she suffer? There's nothing else that we could possibly take from Kenny at this point. And I don't even know if it was necessary. Y'all better do something with it. Let's get into From Season 3, Episode 2.
I can't stay.
Now, do you know, even though I'm breaking this down here, there will be a live held every single Tuesday night to talk about the From even further, just in case you want to be a part of that. Now, starting off with this episode, we really get into Boyd. Though everybody in the town is mourning and prepping for the loss of Miss Chen, it's hitting Boyd even stronger because not only was he there to witness her death, but what does this mean for Kenny? Has he not experienced enough loss with losing his father last season? We are made very aware this season more than anything that the From and monsters alike are on a mission to break Boyd down, leave him hopeless in a state of being constantly discontent, feeling and knowing that he can't do anything about it. If and when we break down Boyd, all grounds of hope it's just completely lost for every other person in that town. The soldiers are gonna fall and follow suit. That's Donna, that's Kenny, that's Christy, Boyd's son, Fatima. Everything will be completely dysfunctional, and I for one believe that this is what the From wants. It doesn't only want to feed and we're trying to get to the flesh and taunt you to open a door. No, we need you in a state of hopelessness. It's also about the chase and giving you that sinking feeling that, Boyd, how are you going to protect these people if you couldn't even protect yourself or the likes of the Miss Chen? What does that mean for everybody else? Now, speaking of Donna, I did not do a recap for episode 1. I only did a live. So if you want to hear my thoughts about it, they're all there. But we will be doing solo recaps moving forward with the show. Donna is the only one in this episode so far who agreed with the idea of we went outside for livestock for what? That whole setup to where we even lost Miss Chen, I thought it was very weak. I did not appreciate the writing on that. Even if we wanted to have a shock value, impactful killing off of a character, we could have went about it a smarter way that just was like, are we really gonna just all lunge out here for cattle? It didn't make sense to me, so I did love that we did get some pushback for Donna, like why, even though it was in the heat of the moment, and of course everybody is upset and mourning Miss Chen. But do understand that if we don't have each other, then we don't have anything. Like I said, if we get to the foot soldiers, if Donna, our rock, check on your strong friends, if Donna, the rock, and the From, that duo dynamic of knowing that at least we are here for each other, at least we are seeing eye to eye. If we get two soldiers like Donna and get her to mentally break down, all hope will be lost. Speaking of all hope being lost, I'm already over Fatima and this baby. This baby that's not really a baby. I'm already over it. Like, girl, if you don't roll over to your man and say, yeah, this isn't what it is, we are not going to sit through this baby, this From thing, sucking the life out of Fatima and just chalking it up to, oh, it's just fine. This is the typical everyday mother morning sickness. Meanwhile, the circles, the sinkingness that's happening with Fatima's cheeks, it's giving Bella. It's giving Bella, it's giving Twilight, it's giving I don't have a lot of time. That baby is rejecting food because it's not a baby. It's one of those things from the From. And what do the things in the From eat? I was not at all surprised this episode that we escalated to Fatima finding satisfaction out of eating the rotten food. Like, yes, that's a couple of steps above rotting flesh, I think she'll probably move on to little animal carcasses type of situation. And then eventually we're going to want to eat a person because the people in the From eat other people. We don't got time, Fatima. Get that thing out of there now. And I need her to do something before she rolls over and Ellis's face looks real tasty. Now let me take it on over to Kenny before I get into Jim and his offspring and his wife, because They get on my nerves in the show. Can't stand them. The little children, none of them can't stand them. But Kenny is to be expected. I do appreciate the fact, because Jim pissed me off, like I said, last episode, when he just had to venture off into the unknown, into the from, as if it's going to be the same as it was, and I'm going to actually roll up and find Tabitha. It was not a complete waste, his revelation last episode, maybe I should have stayed with my kids. You think so? All is not lost or a waste of time, because we actually find some freaking food, which we need, really, really desperately at this moment, which also has me really curious about this land that they are on. I do feel like the from has been going on and on for however long, and for whatever reason, all the soil is soiled along with everything of its labor, but on this land, it's untouched and things are thriving. So I'm like, is the little skeletal things there, or those active or blocking off? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Are those, protecting the land where it's untouched by the from, and maybe we should be seeking retribution and some shelter there? I don't know. At this point, we need all the safety and food that we can get. But to see Kenny absolutely break down this episode was really, really heartbreaking. I feel like we just went through this already, of course, with Kenny's father. To have the from be absolutely petty in the diner and play some goddamn Cool in the Gang, celebrate. Trash. Absolutely trash. But we see Kenny act in the only way that he can. I want revenge. I want something to change. I want to burn it all down. Somebody has to pay for what happened to my mother. What I can say is I really appreciated the fact that even though it was towards the end, Boyd was right there, and he does say out of his mouth exactly what happened. Boyd has a tendency to want to be sensitive to Kenny and keep certain things at bay and information. And at that moment, in the first episode, I was like, please tell Kenny as soon as he gets there what happened, and that you were there and you were present for it. The worst thing we can do is have a repeat of last season and you keep a secret from him. When we find Boyd in that state and he is reciting Miss Chen's last words, and we find out that even in that, when they, first of all, they were using that Miss Chen little ripped body, they were using that to fit. They were going to run that imagery into the ground this episode. We did not need 100 million shots to see the state of Miss Chen's body. We got it. It's felt. We're remorseful. We don't want nobody else to get caught up in the from. We didn't need to see it. We saw that body a whole lot. It was enough that we got the flashback in Boyd's mind to even see that he had to witness them rip her flesh off of her body. But when we find out that those last words were, be there for him, protect him, he's going to be alone now. Like, even in that state that she was always thinking about her son, just said, like, who's going to cook the meals now, huh? Who's going to cook the meals? Who's going to be that rock? Miss Chen served such a strong purpose. I don't know. I just wanted them to kill off somebody else. There are a lot of people, like I said in the live, this show is going to start to suffer from having one too many characters and not knowing exactly how to incorporate them or what to do with them. But she's gone. We also have Christy, Christy that didn't want to be down with Kenny, give my boy no love. And when the girlfriend rolled up, it was just over, but whatever. She's trying to be there and be supportive now. And she is left with the responsibility to get Miss Chen's body together. I do love that even, in the worst of the worst, we can have her along with somebody like Jade. Jade is out there trying to piece together, trying to do some red string situations, but he does make time in that moment to, I will help you get her body together for, the funeral and the burial. We need each other right now. If we don't have each other, what the hell do we have? Speaking of needing each other, we've been having little Sarah all back there creepy in the shadows. We had her step in to save Ethan and Julie last episode and get them on that bus. And we also have her chime in, not only to tell Christy what happened and us losing Miss Chen, but hey, this was always her favorite dress. She probably want to be buried in this. Won't you put her in? I was like, all right. Not us trying to redeem Sarah. Not us trying to redeem her. I think that we are going to go through the process to try to redeem Sarah, to have her be sacrificial and maybe kill her off as well, because what are we doing here? What are we doing here? We've had a lot of loss, but we have to do something with Sarah, and her being a pariah is going to lose its steam in some time. And we even have Julie in the episode confide in her with them taking in Julie and, you know, the girlfriend and Randall and getting inside their brains, who knows what the from might have me do. And I don't want to end up like you. Maybe I should confide in you because you would be the only person in this town to understand what I'm experiencing and going through. Speaking of Julie, let's get on into Jim and his family. Now, Tabitha is in the outs out. She's in the outs with Victor's father. Victor, who is also having a sort of breakdown and just not really being accustomed to everything that's occurring in the from. Everything is changing. It's cold. It's snowing. I just need to disappear. We're seeing Victor grow even more distant than he was before and become a recluse again, which is absolutely not a good sign. And then he got that blicky. You know, he could pop off at any second. He could pop off at any second, but just yelling at Ethan like she's dead. I want to give her a blanket. She needs a. I'm so sick of Ethan. I can't stand none of them. Everybody can manage to die except for one of Jim's family members, but they are making it very significant in this episode that Ethan is losing his innocence and starting to not believe that we're really not on a permanent vacation. People are really dying. I really can't just open the door and let the things from the from in here when I feel like it. Keep on playing Ethan. Keep on playing Ethan. With them being so heavy-handed with that loss of innocence and him realizing that this is really what it is. I don't know if that's going to play a bigger role in the show with Ethan and maybe him changing for the worse or for the better. I'm not sure. But we ain't seen Ethan interact with the little boy in white. I don't know. It could mean something, but you know, who the hell knows what's going on in the front? I sure don't. But we have Julie feeling some type of way. Like, you know, Julie stay mad. Julie stay mad. Julie stays angsty, but she has reason this time. We've already at this moment lost our mom. At this point, nobody's surviving in the from. Why would you leave us alone yet again with the opportunity for us to lose the only living parent that we have and leave Ethan to, you know, for me to be responsible for him? Like, what the hell are you thinking? I need you to be the adult. I need you to be my dad. I need you to step in. I need us to be able to count on you. Gonna show up. Where's my kids? Jim. Jim, not right now. Not right now. Jim works my nerve. Jim seems to go out of his way to do whatever the hell he wants to do. He doesn't listen like I need him to listen when Donna talks, when boys talk. You know, people who have been here for a minute. I love the ambition to try to get the hell out of the from. But sometimes, Jim, sometimes, sit your ass down. Speaking of sitting her ass down, Tabitha. We got Tabitha. Tabitha she just had to be the one to get out, right? She just had to be the one to get out. We do get a lot of context and a lot of clues with Tabitha and Victor's dad. We spent quite some time, as we, you know, should rightfully so, with him just not believing her and her trying to convince him and trying to prove a point. Look at these shots. I'm not lying. I most definitely don't want to be arrested. What does that mean for my family? These are things that I cannot explain. I hated that we went through that like half the episode just for Victor's dad to go, well, yeah, there was this one time Victor's mom had said, if you knew that way back when, 40 years ago, prior to your family disappearing, that your wife was sharing these same experiences, having these visions, telling you about a place, about a from. You had all this ish in your basement, just like, all right. All this ish in the basement. A lot of those things that took place last season with Jim and Tabitha with, you know, digging, it was in the basement. Maybe there's, you know, some significance there. I think the outside, even though she's out, is it really out? I think everything is connected in a sense somewhere. But we eventually do believe her and take her on down to the basement, and there are all these paintings that we see, the children, we see the diner. These are visions or, you know, dreams or whatever. He goes on this whole thing about acid and all this, whatever. Bottom line, she felt like that she was chosen and that there were so many other people chosen to get in here, be a part of the from, and set these children free. Nobody ever set the children free, so nobody ever really actually escaped enough to set all the inhabitants free. So now we gotta free all the children. Now we are responsible to try to free all of the non-existent ghostly children in the from to set this curse from the town free. Like, whose shoulders is that going to be on? Is it going to be Tabitha? Because Tabitha can barely walk and chew gum at the same time. But okay, I just don't know. I'm concerned with what we're going to do with Tabitha. I need them to really get moving with it. Let's get out of this house. Let's go and try to find connections. Go try to find a tree. Go try to do something. Because I feel like the show is going to freaking cop out and it's going to piss me off. With us having Victor in his current state of just really getting to his wits end and really being hopeless with not only is the from changing, but what does that mean for my mental state, me as a person? Victor is giving, I can't really do this much longer. The only thing that would like set that off is if Victor all of a sudden saw his father. We better not figure out some magical way to get that father in the from. I don't want them to get us, this close to figuring something out and then wait until the last episode to somehow pull Victor's dad and Tabitha back into the from. Like, I know the concept of the show, and if we figure out everything, then that means that there's no more show. We know what the from is, but don't do that. If we do that, that is going to upset me. I really want to see Tabitha out here in the outside world, hitting the pavement, trying to figure out what the hell is going on. I do like that we leave off this episode with Victor's dad believing what she's saying and seeing the vision. So hopefully we are outside trying to put context clues together and get our folks out. We're trying to get our folks out. We're trying to get back to that from and push everybody out the Lifehouse. We need those convenient connections to keep hopes up. Keep, like we had Christy's girlfriend appear out of nowhere and make her content again where she wasn't. Who's to say that we aren't trying to do this with Victor or do this with whomever to make them temporarily content with the from, and then we mess everything up again. I think the from gets off on it. I think the from gets off on all of that. Now, ending off the episode with Jim, of course, the phone rings. The phone rings. A phone in the from rings in the house. He answers it, of course, because it's Jim. And it says, hey, it's me, it's Thomas. It's your long lost dead son. And that's where we end off. I'm not gonna play with the from. I'm not gonna play with the from. Let's not subject to these throwback, taunting phone calls. Jim better not open up the next episode. Well, it couldn't be nothing but the from. It couldn't be nothing but the from. We're not going to act like that somebody on the end of that line is actually trying to help us. Somebody's trying to be a savior. The from never delivers any goddamn good news. It's always tragedy. It's always bad. I'm hoping that Jim doesn't find any fulfillment or try to grasp at maybe Thomas being on the other end of that phone just because he is sad at the loss of it just being him and the kids and Tabitha maybe being dead. Let's not do that. I don't want to see it. Well, you guys, that was my review for From. I hope you enjoyed it. Please know that if you are interested in an even deeper dive of From Season 3, Episode 2, moving forward, there will be a live hosted every Tuesday night. You're welcome to join us. I will leave the link below in the chat for you guys, just in case you care to do that. Let me know your theories, your thoughts, anything. No, who knows? Who knows what the hell is going on in the From? This is not that channel. This is not the Easter egg place. But if you just want to, shoot the shit and get into the episode, this is definitely the place for you. I look forward to engaging with you guys and reading your comments below. I see you guys next time for the next episode of From. Bye.